Hey guys, KiwiSylveon, and welcome back to Seduce Me to the Demon War. In the last episode, we started training with Shadow, and apparently we're getting attacked by angels because James is in Stone Destiny. And apparently we figured out that it's because of the Stone Destiny, and he's supposed to rule the demon world. That ain't happening. Then how can we set him free from it?
By giving him enough energy to do so himself.
What? Fuck this. Wait, what? Move that. I stared. It made sense, but giving him energy meant probably sleeping with him. I didn't have I didn't have much of a problem with it, but sex wasn't something that I wanted to do just because it had to be done. It was better to make love when the people involved were in the mood to do so rather than because they had to. Cheryl turned back to the door.
He is a powerful incubus, but he isn't powerful enough to break through his destiny unless you help him.
Before he left, however, I stopped him. Something seemed off with Cyril being the one to tell me. Saddle, why are you telling me instead of Diana telling me?
She isn't aware of it. Not many demons know of it or even believe it to be an actual occurrence.
Then how do you know about it? Cheryl seemed to stand still, letting silence linger in the air. The room began to feel off as Saero stood in his place. I had felt this feeling before, but I couldn't pin down where. Oh shit. Finally, Saero slowly turned his head to me, causing me to silently gasp at what was revealed. In his gold eyes were crosses, glowing dark black, where his pupils were. The feeling of feathers once again danced around me, causing me to quiver slightly.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, Daddy. I nodded, slowly but frightfully. Zero was an angel? How? He looked like a demon. No one mentioned him being anything close to an angel other than him using holy magic. Did Diana not know either? How was this hidden? Cyril closed his eyes and relaxed a bit as he pressed his lips into a fine line.
I love my lady. I would follow her to the ends of the 5 worlds if she demanded it of me. To see the man she was bound to wed here, locked by a destiny that would have taken my love away long ago. It's maddening.
Sorry about that, I have to adjust my mic a little bit.
The longer he stays here, the more dangerous his destiny becomes. I've seen visions of what would come to pass if his destiny is fulfilled, and I will do everything to make sure that doesn't happen.
I could see the jealousy in Cyril's eyes once again. Something burned heavily in Cyril's gaze, and it didn't dare fade away as he gripped his spear in a white-knuckled grip.
My lady is a queen deserving of the world, not a harem girl for him to ravage in a cage.
Memories of the nightmare I had long ago flickered in my head. Diana had been in a cage beside me. Did Cyril see the same thing? I didn't get a chance to ask. Cyril relaxed a bit and glared at me. I could feel a shiver rake up my spine as his words shook my core.
Do not speak of what I am to anyone, or I will set your destiny to die at your husband's hand.
Fiance. Without letting me reply, Cyril turned and left the room, leaving me alone to absorb what had happened. I felt the air in the room slowly drift back to normal, but I felt nowhere close to it. How was this happening? Why was this happening? Everything began to clash in my head, causing me to pound heavily in confusion and stress. My thoughts were interrupted as the door opened again, revealing James.
Love? Are you alright?
James. Oh boy. I couldn't control myself. I needed some relief from this entire situation, and I usually found it in James's embrace, and against his lips. I stood from the bed and walked over to him, wrapping my arms around him and pulling me in to kiss. James, taken by surprise, gasped against my lips before wrapping his arms around my waist and kissed me back. I let my mind sink into a blank slate as I drowned myself in the kiss between us. However, I knew partly why I was doing this. To give James energy. If energy was what he needed to fight this, then I was willing to feed it to him. James pulled away slightly and looked down at me. As he looked into my eyes, he stared in soft surprise and confusion.
Love, is everything alright?
Kiss him again. Oh boy. I'm gonna take from Justin and say, bring the holy water, people. Get that damn holy water ready. And get ready to pray to whatever you do. Oh, fuck me. Well, I'm out. Allie's about to get fucked, but why did I do this to my brain? I didn't want to tell him what had happened. I didn't want him to know what was on my mind. I simply needed I needed to help him in the only way I could, and I needed to not think about what was happening. I pulled him back in and kissed him that much harder, wrapping my hands behind his head and gripping onto him tightly. James then questioned me further and tightened his embrace around me, deepening the kiss. Our mouths battled in Nad's dominance, with James winning and me giving in to his passion. I found myself growing weak in the knees with the kiss between us, but at the same time, I was floating in mental cloud nine. My mind knew that I could stop now. If he asked, I would come up with an excuse for my behavior, but I was only getting in the direction I was taking James toward. As one of his hands slowly slid down my back and hooked itself under my leg and behind my knee, I knew this was my one chance to pull away before I let myself dive into a most needed sexual ride. Go all the way and save our minds, please. Holy water, Jeebus, whoever. Help. I needed him. There's no point in stopping now. Hello, sexy music. I quickly grasped his shoulders and pulled him, walking us back toward the bed, and eventually falling back over it with him kneeling between my legs. My mind became mildly frantic, shutting out the world, the war, the castle, the other demons, everything from my mind. All I needed right now was James, and his embrace to take me away for the night and make me forget. James slowly pulled away, a soft pant escaping him as he stared down at me. His pupils were blown in pure love and lust, gazing down at me with a hazy stare. James, I need you right now. Why did I have to say it that way? Oh. At the sight of James suddenly licking his lips, something in my core trembled. As I felt his fingers slightly drag themselves along my sides and grip my waist, I felt myself melt into the mattress beneath me. I had unlocked the beast within James and was ready to take him. Screw the world for now. The night belonged to us and us alone.
Allow me to indulge myself first.
Go right ahead, James. Go right ahead. I felt a hint of confusion run along my mind before suddenly feeling James pull up my shirt and ease it up, causing me to lift my arms above my head. What I didn't expect was him tying the shirt around my wrists and pressing my hands back near the bedpost. Well, if we learned anything about James in the epilogue of his, he is kinda into this shit. So, good on you, James. What? A deep chuckle echoed from James's chest as he brushed a hand through my hair, making me gaze up into his eyes. He didn't have to enthrall me to make me weak for him, but as his beautiful whiskey eyes began to glow a brilliant gold, my body began to warm and shudder in desire. I couldn't stop the moan from escaping my lips as James slowly knelt down and planted his lips on my neck. dragging his tongue over my most sensitive spot and slightly nipping at it. I tilted my head to the side, giving him more space to work, as he slowly began to ravage me. My legs naturally wrapped around his waist, pulling him closer to me. But as I did, James evilly rolled his hips against mine. Fuck you, James! Grinding his knee against mine and forcing us both to release a gasp at the feeling. All I could think about was James touching me, holding me, kissing me, delving deep into me. My mind was spinning in endless waves of desire that I could barely control myself from pulling at my makeshift bindings and arching my back against James's chest. James merely paid in kind by moving his kisses to my lips, passionately dancing his tongue against mine in a battle of dominance. I was his to take. I was his to take, conceding defeat to his tango. This isn't Erik! Erik's the dancing one, not James. Though, I wouldn't be surprised. I naturally tried to lower my arms back down to capture him between them, but James suddenly pulled away and forced my hands back above me, making me gasp and stare wide-eyed into James's dominant gaze.
Keep them there.
Can I hear that once more, please?
Keep them there.
Yes, sir. I didn't need to question him or his command. I nodded, willingly obeying despite knowing that his teasing would be the end of my sanity for the night. She still has sanity right now? Mika, or the main character, you are crazy. How can you still have sanity? This far in? My brain would have been long gone. A smirk of approval slowly grew on his lips before he came back down and captured my lips again. Why am I doing that? Go away. I could only grip the fabric of my shirt around my hands, fighting every urge to disobey James, as he traveled his mouth down my neck and chest, licking and kissing over my skin. Every part of me that was exposed to James became his to claim. Every touch he made on my body, every finger that traced along my skin made me shudder in absolute delight. My feet dragged themselves along the back of James's legs, teasing him and trying to urge him to come closer. Please, baby, please, waist brow. Please. As he did, he took his sweet time undoing my pants and sliding them off of me before removing his own, leaving us bare for each other. James barely hovered his lips over mine, staring deep into my eyes as our passionate night began to take off. Fuck. Our carnal desire for each other took over, unrelenting as we moaned through the night together in a loving, passionate crescendo. I let everything go, tearing through the shirt and eventually dragging my nails along his back. I'm surprised he doesn't tisk it at us because we were supposed to keep our hands there. Apparently we're stronger than we thought. We could tear through fabric. His pained hiss between his groans and pants made me lick my lips in almost a sadistic manner, but doing him so and tease me as punishment reminded me who was in charge. The only sound to accompany our loving pleas and moans for each other was the creaking of the bed and the echo of our voices. We didn't get a damn word of us. Oh my god. Poor Damien. Damien, Erik, Sam. Sorry if I hit my mic. All the brothers. Mostly Damien. Why am I itching my... Poor Damien. He's just like, oh, help. I can... Yeah. And knowing Twyla or Gina in my head, they'd be like, something wrong, love? Damien would be probably holding his head going, oh god, they're doing it. Oh, poor Damien. The entire castle would know who we belong to. Each other. Even as we peek together, the fixation of our love only intensified, driving us to kiss each other and ride through the afterglow of our sex together. Aww. James managed to open his eyes, staring down at me in both exhaustion and love as he ran a hand through my hair. I could only stare back, lost in his whiskey-colored eyes.
I am so unbelievably blessed to call you my own.
Give me a moment, my heart just stopped. James! Me too, James. Oh. Why am I... God damn it, I'm drooling. Our love fueled each other like a raging fire. We were destined to be together. Fuck anyone who said otherwise. We went to bed that night in each other's arms, enveloped by the peaceful dark of slumber. To my surprise, no nightmares came that night. Yay! Fucking takes away the nightmares. Woo! I woke up that morning by myself, alone in bed. James was nowhere to be found, but I had to assume he was out training. We were getting closer and closer to the day when we were going into battle with the Demon Lord, so it made sense for him to be on top of his training. However, I couldn't exactly stop the feeling of loneliness rushing through me. I at least wanted to see him off, but I had to understand, this was preparation for a war. The reward was me going home after all. I stretched and rubbed my neck, massaging out the tired soreness from sleep in my body. You sure you're still able to move? Holy crap. Considering you and James both exhausted each other. Holy shit. I want that, but I'm afraid. Day 5 in the demon world. Wait. Holy fuck. Had it really been that long? I wanted to imagine it like a vacation, but the situation was the polar opposite. This was a week away from my normalcy, despite it being barely normal in the first place. Besides, I was marrying a demon. There was nothing normal about that. How much time had gone by in the human world? Were people worried about me by now? The question plagued my mind for a brief moment before I let it aside defeat. I guess I'll figure it out when I get home. Holy fuck, stop going off! Twitter, please. Calm yourself.
Don't worry, darling. You'll be home soon enough.
Hi, Diana. I turned my head to see Diana standing by the door with a plate of warm pancakes. Diana, I love you, but you're still a bitch in this. You brought pancakes. She has pancakes. Pancake, pancake, pancake. Speaking of, I need... It's not my recording without me eating. I'd never figure out how Diana managed to make them, but staring at the plate made my mouth water.
Something warm. Here.
Thank you. Diana walked over and handed me the plate and utensils to eat with. I didn't even ask to start eating. The first bite was heavenly, and the expression on my face apparently made Diana chuckle.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
My popcorn. My popcorn. I blushed and swallowed the bite full in my mouth before looking up at Diana. Thanks. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Diana chuckled as I continued to eat happily. As the thought crossed my mind, I couldn't help but look up and observe Diana as I ate what she made for me. Diana was really doing a lot to help me get home, on top of having a war to deal with. I could tell that she had her reasons for doing so, but it seemed like there was a lot of work that she had to do, and I felt a little sorry for her. Still, I was thankful that she was willing to help me leave this world for my own. Diana smiled a bit before looking away and sighing. What was on her mind?
Dear, may I ask you something?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Huh? Sure. What was Diana curious about? Dan turned her head to me and stared with a blank expression. I was a little concerned as to why I received such a stare, but I mentally shook it off. Fluffy hair.
Have you truly dealt with the angel problem? I haven't heard any word from them since last night, so I assume you have. But I need to be sure.
I stared at her for a moment, taking in her question. I wasn't sure how to answer because it wasn't clear if we managed to get away from the angel's sight or not. They didn't invite my dreams last night, that was for sure. But could that be even considered taking care of the problem? I took a breath before answering, going with my gut. Be honest with Diana, because she's nice. Even though in this one she's a bitch. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna lie. Fuck you, Diana. I'm gonna be a bitch to you in this one. Even though I was nice to you. Fuck you. I had to have dealt with it. They didn't visit that night, and I was going to help James become powerful enough to break him from his destiny. It was an interesting ride, but I was certain it would work. And nodded slightly before crossing her arms.
Very well.
There's like a bug in here. It's like, I'm gonna fly by. Dad stared at me, digging into my gaze and trying to find some sort of other answer in my eye. However, I remained steadfast. I didn't want to worry her anymore if James and I could handle it on our own. According to Saero, we could. Dad sighed before turning to leave.
All right. May today go smoothly.
Yay! Thank you. Holy fuck, I'm hungry. So professional, me eating during a recording. Sorry if my mic's able to pick that up. I'm so fucking hungry. Sorry about all that noise. I nodded as she left. I hoped today would go smoothly. Another round of surprises would kill me. Ironic! That's what I said in the first game. The minute I stepped into the library, Shao turned from his school to look at me. That was a first. Was he going to greet me properly now? His raised eyebrow threw me off, though, as if he wasn't expecting me. I walked into the center of the space, summoning my dark dagger and becoming mentally ready for more reactionary defense training. However, Saero, god damn it. Fuck you, Angel guy. However, Shadow raised his hand to me, causing me to relax a bit.
Your training is over.
Wait, what? What did he mean? I opened my mouth to protest, but Shadow held his stern gaze.
I have taught you how to defend yourself and how to traverse a plane that renders you temporarily untouchable. That was all I was required to teach. You are free to train on your own without a mentor now.
But Shadow! I felt like I was tossed into the deep end of a lake. I wasn't told anything about losing my trainer at any point. Still, I knew that he was saying this was the truth. He was right. I wasn't expected to learn how to really fight or how to beat someone. All this training was was for me to give was to give me the ability to defend myself. I had completely forgotten about the reason I had even started. Still, I wanted to learn more. I felt like I was losing a golden opportunity, and I wanted to push forward to learn something extraordinary. It was one thing to duck and dodge an invisible opponent, but it was another to truly use dark magic. Shao turned away and went back to the table.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must return to my research. We have a siege in less than 3 days, and I can't waste any more time.
That hurt a bit. I was wasting his time? I felt some part of me yell that I had wasted my own time. Why was I even here? Teach me something else. Charlotte looked over his shoulder, locking eyes with me. However, he didn't say anything. I could feel his gaze burned into my eyes, judging my words and my desire to learn. I wanted to know something else. I didn't want my training to end here. Training here to end with me going off to on my own. I had only trained for 2 days, for goodness sake. I wanted more. Charles slowly straightened and turned to face me, crossing his arms.
Very well. I would like to see if you are able to perform a rather difficult spell.
Thank you. Trying to get my mic as far away as I can without hurting it. Oh. I suddenly became confused. Was it truly something powerful? I thought of 100 things he was going to teach me, but I remained at attention, listening.
The spell I'm about to teach you will become your best weapon in battle. However, it takes a large portion of energy. You may not even stay conscious after casting it. Are you prepared to try?
I took a moment to consider it. While it seemed powerful, something about it seemed off. I could possibly pass out? Why would I essentially be jumping a level so fast? Was it something I should be afraid of? No. Well, fuck. Fuck. Need to save and then... No, wait, let's go to this side. No, I'll load it. It's supposed to be... No. Wait. Load back in. No. Yes. I wanted to know. I wanted to experience something new, and if this power was going to be, as he said, my greatest weapon, then I had nothing to lose. It would be worth the attempt. Charles stared at me for a moment, most likely judging me like he usually did, before nodding and pointing to the wall away from the fireplace.
There.
I looked over and became lost. I saw my own shadow simply lying against the wall and flickering slightly from the firelight. What was he wanting me to do with it? Before my eyes, my trainer's own shadow crawled up the wall beside mine and began to peel itself off of the wall. I could not believe what I was seeing. It was almost cartoon-like. Sure enough, the shadow was standing on its own in midair, away from the wall. He was teaching me how to use my shadow? Sorry about that. I closed my eyes, trying to focus and concentrate before looking into my shadow and attempting to will it off of the wall. It wouldn't move, much to my displeasure, causing me to focus harder. It had to come off the wall somehow. My shadow began to quake and almost shudder against the wall in defiance, making me glare hard at it. Come on! Come on! It shook violently before finally starting to push itself off of the wall into a full 3-dimensional being. I stared as it settled onto its feet and stood at attention for me, as if awaiting my orders. This was by far one of the coolest things I had done. Besides the whole, going to another plane and... I felt my energy pulse, straining slowly to maintain the spell, and took a breath. Shadow, however, clapped his hands a couple of times.
Well done.
Yay! I grinned back at him before watching him form a dark sword in his hand and pass to his shadow with a look of confusion. Out of silence, I tried to mirror him, forming a shadow blade in my hand in the same way I had formed my dagger and passing it to my shadow. For some reason, staring at my shadow holding the sword seemed off to me, but maybe that was because I was a human casting this magic for the first time. There are always times first, after all, and this was definitely impactful first. Shadow lifted his hand and pointed it toward the door. Obeying the silent command, his shadow walked over to the door and stood guard. How do you know what to do without being told? Of course, Shadow wasn't going to tell me. I looked at my shadow and tried to think of what I could have it do. There were so many things. It was hard to decide. Gazing around the room, there were many places it could go. However, I became curious about the upper level of the library. I pointed into the air at the upper balcony, feeling the need to verbalize my demand echo through my body. Go. Within a blink, my shadow crouched and leapt off of the ground, almost flying through the air and grabbed onto the railing of the upper floor. I stared, jaw dropped as it vaulted itself over the ledge and turned back to face me. Whoa! I looked at Shadow, seeing him give a mildly impressed smirk toward my shadow.
I'm rather shocked. It's a shame to think that you're merely a human. You'd make a fine assassin.
Aw, thank you! There was a genuine compliment. I was a little surprised to hear him say that without some kind of insult tacked on, but I quickly shook it off. If I had learned anything from this experience, it was not to let my guard down. Luckily, I didn't. I smirked as I noticed Shadow's own entity try and creep up on my shadow. In reply, I quickly shouted, "Defend!" My shadow acknowledged my command, and as if it knew where its enemy was, it turned and braced itself as my trainer shadow tried to slice through it. Both swords clashed, causing a splash of dark matter to erupt from the impact. But as soon as it happened, Shadow dispelled his entity with a smirk of his own.
Well done. Very well done.
Senpai noticed! I need to clear this. I grinned from ear to ear, my shadow disappearing on its own. However, Shadow raised an eyebrow.
Your practice is not over. Again.
Of course he would say that. Fuck you, Shadow. Fuck you. But we want to learn. I felt another smirk grace my lips. Finally. I trained through the day, stopping every now and then when my energy was low and refueling with food and a break. I was happy to have this new ability, but he hadn't been kidding. It definitely wore me out. I finally arrived at my room, but as soon as I entered, something wasn't right. I thought something was off just from stepping inside, but there was no one there. Was I just exhausted imagining things? I cautiously entered, looking around. Nothing seemed to be out of place visually, but my nerves felt on edge. What was happening? Well, I'm going to end it here because A, I need to actually eat and not do it during recording. And B, it seems like a nice place to end. Plus, I might start using my Bandicam more because I've noticed with XSplit, it's lagging like crazy. I don't know why, but anyway, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!